Let's see where we're at. This is always the nail-biting minute. No, it looks like we're good. So we're already on Twitch. I think we should be live on Twitch. We are probably on YouTube as well. So I'll do the cool intro thing. It's the demo drop, episode 17 of the demo drop, no less. My name is Dave Colombo Jenkins, and this week I am joined by, or this month I should say, I'm joined by Dysfunction, who has recently dropped the Confusion EP on One More Thing, which I'm very, very happy about. And I'm very happy with all the responses and the music, and to be able to put out awesome extreme music. Oh, by the way, actually, Kai, we played tomorrow on Vision Radio. I don't know if I should be giving away spoilers like this, but I don't think it's going to spoil anything. We played Tremens on Vision Radio. We recorded it this morning. Yeah, so that's going to be on Vision. It's always, I'll say this as people are coming onto the stream, just for complete transparency. I can't get things on Vision Radio. Like, I have to wait until there's a little slot. I have to submit it like anybody else does. And then if they like it, or if there's something that we've already played and it's in the track list, it's like, I've got a Dysfunction tune that we can play, or I've got a Scar Tip tune that we can play. And depending on who I'm doing the show with and how lenient they're feeling, then sometimes we can get tunes in. Sometimes they don't like what I'm releasing, and they're pretty scathing about it, and they're quite critical, and it's quite hard to take. But also it's really good because it's important, and especially because this is a feedback show, so I should be good at taking feedback. I think I'm better at taking feedback personally than I am on behalf of any artist that releases on One More Thing. I take things incredibly personally. What are you like with feedback, Kai, before we get into actually listening to the demos and stuff?
I feel like generally, as long as it's like constructive feedback and something that I can use to improve stuff, then it's always very much appreciated. But when it's sort of just like kind of like unnecessarily harsh, it's not the nicest.
No.
Just sharing the link on my Instagram.
Brilliant. Cool. Hey, we've got Sequest. I never get your name right. I don't know if is it Sequest or Sequest. You're in the chat already, so that means we got a couple of people on YouTube, a couple of people on Twitch. This is brilliant. So as you're sharing the link, I think we're going to go for the first tune. So they generally in order of how I've been sent them and how they've been submitted. A couple of new names. Now I'm just waiting for my computer to do its thing. Right, here we go. A couple of new names as well, which is always great to see. And this is a new name. This is Deprogram. And at the moment, this tune is unreleased, but it does come out on their own label next month. But I wanted to be fair because they said some really complimentary things about Lakeway on the email. So if you have got a tune that's almost about to be released, but not quite a demo, but not quite a release, compliment one of my artists in the email, and we will play it on the demo drop. I'll break all of the rules. Anyway, right, let me get this back to the start, because we're using this as a tester track. This is the first tune of the demo drop. This is Crisis of Confidence by Deprogram. Are you ready, Dysfunction?
Yes.
We'll go 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm going to share the SoundCloud link here. I'm liking this halftime intro. This is cool. And I'm liking the confidence, actually. No, not the confidence. I was looking at the word confidence. I'm liking the message of the music, and I will say why in a minute. So here we go. Anyone on the stream, let us know that it's coming through. Nice one, Sequest. Either or. Damage Man, go on. Ooh. That surprised me when that came in. Actually, hey, Fireworks Factory in the chat as well. Go on. The gang are assembling. Right, so this bit of text here that I'm putting in the chat, that is on the SoundCloud. Sequest saying nice old school vibes. I want to let it play out before I share what I'm feeling. So deprogram. This link here says tech support recordings, which I've not actually heard of before, but they're based in San Francisco. Big up all the US artists. Right, I'm going to pause it there for just 1 second, because for me, I just paused it there. I want way more clarity. Now, I know we're listening to this on SoundCloud, but there's, for me, to my untrained ears and my tinnitus riddled ears, it feels quite muddy. What's the production saying for you, Kai?
I would agree with you there. I feel like I like the bass and I like the arrangement of the tune. However, I really feel like the drums aren't coming through as much as they could. Particularly the kick and the snare aren't really standing out that much from the rest of the drum layer.
Yeah.
So I feel like either them just being loud or having more compression and maybe transient shaping to help them stick out a lot in the mix.
Yes.
Would really sort of lift the track up a bit. But yeah, arrangement and sound design I really like. But yeah, I feel like the mix down, especially with regards to the drums, could be a bit more.
Definitely. That's exactly what I felt. And now I know what transients are. Regular listeners of Vision Radio would have heard Tice give me a bit of a kind of lesson, a schooling on what transients are, because I pretty much worked it out. But the transient is the pop, isn't it? The transient is that little kind of, is the edge that makes things kind of stand out. And yeah, so kind of like you say, getting it shaped so it is that kind of real nice kind of crisp snap into things. Because I've always called it the snap, but I think what I've been talking about is transients, or are transients rather. So there was, hey, go on, Drumad's in the house. Wicked. How's it going, Hugo? I love the tone of it. What I really like, the most thing that stood out to me really was the whole political message. I mean, what we put here then in the chat, saying that, he's pointed out that it's kind of come full circle and that we've been in previous political unrest before, well, certainly in America. I like anything that's political, and I know you do as well, Kai. Go on. I didn't realise you were still eating your lunch in that way, your tea in that way. When I do see you, I won't ask you a question when you've got a mouthful. I want to hear more clarity. I wanted to hear, and I felt that the things kicked in 2 beats early, but that might have been how I played the tune, but it kicked in a little bit of a kind of jarring way. But yeah, it was great to have a new name on the demo drop. Thank you very much, Deprogram, and I hope you are able to send us more stuff in the future as well. So everybody please follow there, and let's go on to the second track now. Who have we got? It might well be Damage, man, I'm just going to close a few of these windows because it does kind of feel... Axel.
It might be Axel, yeah.
Yes, Axel. So Axel, first time we played Axel was on the show last time, and he sent over a bunch of tunes. So this is another one of the tunes that he sent over. And actually, I have since signed for a VA compilation that is coming out on the 1st of January. I since signed that track. I know I have listened to this because I did listen to them all, so I'm not going to lie and pretend that it's new to my ears. But because I've heard so much music, I can't remember how it goes in any way at all. Axel is from Bristol. I've already done all the puns about Axl Rose and Axel Foley, so I won't do that again. Are you ready? You could just give me a thumbs up. You don't need to say anything. Brilliant. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So this is called Spellbound. Big shout out to all the wizards and the witches watching. But not J.K. Rowling. So here we go. What am I doing now? I need to share a SoundCloud. Axel's from Bristol. Came to us through Fireworks Factory. Ooh. Okay. I do like a halftime intro. Sounding quite Charlie XCX there on the vocal. Ooh, I really like the trippy elements on the vocals. They keep on mutating really nicely and slowly and subtly. These vocals do remind me of Lakeway. I've spent a lot of time with Lakeway in the car and he's played a lot of Charlie XCX. We actually talk about Charlie XCX as well, don't we, on our forthcoming podcast? Yeah. And just the general state of pop at the moment is great. For the first time probably since, like, I don't know, maybe the 2000s or something like that. Like, for the first time in a long time, pop is really interesting. So what's going to happen here? This is the crunch time now. For me, in a perfect world, when this kicks back in, the tempo's changed and it goes to drum and bass, but I don't think that's going to happen. Do you know what, I wouldn't mind on this, like a couple of fast hi-hats on this section, like something else to give it like a little bit more kind of momentum and a little bit like feel like it's kind of going a bit faster in this section. Oh, yep, hold on. I'm going to pause this now. There we go. Yeah. Oh, wow. Right. Stop. Phew. What were we going to say?
Yeah, no, I really like that. I like the sort of, kind of as you said, the poppy sort of like, kind of like almost like hip hop type elements in with the vocals and the way that they sort of like messed around with, and the way in which the vocals sort of drop in and out. Really quite liked in the second drop. There's a couple of bars in where you there's a section where a load of the elements just sort of stop. And I really like the use of sort of silence there, and how it really like helps to kind of break up the flow a bit in a way that sort of punctuates all of the other elements of the track when they come back in. I really like this. Really cool details. For me, the bass and the kick sounded a little bit kind of squished, or the bass was quite overwhelming. Don't know if it's these headphones. Because they've had a good innings and they're not the best studio reference headphones anymore. So I'm not too sure, but it felt like the bass and the kick might have needed a little bit of attention there. It still feels like a demo kind of stage. I'd like to hear a tiny bit more momentum on that second after the second drop. But it might be because literally minutes before I started the stream, I was playing 200 BPM and mixing in like 100 BPM stuff, practicing for Saturday. We've got a party going on Saturday. And I think I'm going to play like a 100 and 200 BPM. So kind of going between hip hop and kind of crazy breaks. And there's that kind of, I love it when just the hi-hats are doing this kind of thing. So that's the speedy bit, but you've still got a slow half time on the kicks. There's so much potential on that though. I think that's great. So yeah, Axel, I've definitely put Axel's, definitely Fireworks Factory saying about the subtle details, certainly on all of the vocals in the background. I don't think you heard the same type of twist on the vocals at any point really. It was constantly mutating, wasn't it? Yeah. I did notice a bit in the second drop that there was like a sort of shaker or hi-hat type sound that I think came in the second 8 of that second drop.
Yeah.
Potentially it could be like headphones, but potentially if that went up more, it would kind of have just subtly more, just so that it's a little bit more present. That could kind of have the like the effect that Dave was mentioning about still having the halftime drums, but that little bit of like extra high end or like tops to give it a bit more momentum.
You're almost kind of playing tricks with people there, so you're kind of giving them that impression that it's going faster than it actually is in that type of way. But that's wicked. Yep, Axel has got a tune coming
really
out
solid
on
track there.
One More Thing on the 1st of January, as have lots of people. And I'll be mentioning a lot more about that. I'll be mentioning loads more about that when it's actually all ready to go and it's up on the distribution. It's causing me nightmares at the moment. Not so much nightmares, it's just losing me even more sleep than I don't already get. So we are on to the third tune now. Let me see what that is. My computer's going worryingly slow. Right, okay, so this is another new name now. This is Sejin, which I learned while trying to pronounce his name and trying to work out it's Japanese for the world. Sejin sent a whole load of demos, and normally I put it out then to the chat for everybody to choose, but just to streamline it, because as a guest on the show, I picked this one, and I picked it because it's called I Love Music. And I thought that summarised the brand ethos, the core value of both myself, One More Thing, and Dysfunction as well. And anybody on the chat, anybody who's here is loving music. So I think we're ready now, so let's go. Are you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Okay. On a kind of dreamy, liquidy tip here. And I couldn't find a SoundCloud for Sejin, but I did find an Instagram, so here we go. There's also a K-pop artist called Sejin who's got a huge amount of following, and for a minute I got excited thinking wow, but no K-pop as far as I know coming up, just wicked bass music.
If you ask any artist, the music is a success upon creation. When you give it to somebody like a Rolling Stone or a Vibe and they start critiquing it, then your perception changes. But that's looking through somebody else's eyes. So again, we gauge success based upon what we feel in our hearts.
I want to hear that sample a lot louder. I think you're absolutely right, and it's why I don't review music and why I'd much rather tell stories and boost artists that I think need boosting, because it's very true. Someone reads a bad review, they're like, oh, I heard it was rubbish, and then they tell 5 friends it was rubbish, and so on and so forth. This is nice. I like the tightness, I like the way that sub is bouncing. It's quite inoffensive. Yeah, Fireworks Factory is saying about the kick and the snare being less dry and up front. That's nice.
I like that glitchy effect in the percussion, just that's the thing I really like.
Yeah. Upon creation. When you give it to somebody like a Rolling Stone or a Vibe and they start critiquing it.
Yeah. Yeah, Hugh Hardy, definitely. Or maybe something you might find on like Focus.
The music is a success upon creation. When you give it to somebody like a Rolling Stone or a Vibe and they start critiquing it, then your perception changes. But that's looking through somebody else's eyes.
I'm wondering who that is.
Again,
Could it be Pharrell or someone like that?
Upon what we feel in our hearts.
I think the sample could be used to much better effect.
Yeah.
but I really like it when a sample has got a message, because quite often there's spoken word which doesn't kind of relate to anything or the song or have any kind of, kind of real impact or humor or anything, like the spoken word sample on Hypocritical Oath with the I do not think we brought enough body bags. Obviously that's not going to work on this, but it works because it's fun and it's, I've always think that spoken word vocals need to have some type of sense of purpose and not just part of the texture. Yeah. Damage Man saying get some FX on the vocal. What's Super saying? It benefit from more hats and more percussion. Yeah. I think everybody's saying nice. Yes, what's going on, Sonic?
I think
should we pause this now? We've had hold on, oh yeah, we're literally right at the end. We'll let that play out. There we go. The trippy elements, those little twists and those subtle little bits made the tune. They were what kept us listening all the way through, I think, weren't they?
Yeah, I'd agree there. Yeah, I do. I feel like the sample could definitely be more prominent when it comes in. Because it's sort of, I feel like in the places where it is playing, it's not particularly clear to hear all of the words, and I feel it could definitely have like more clarity to it. I do think the sample fits the tune really, really well. And yeah, I like a lot of the trippy elements. The only thing I would say with regards to arrangement is in the first drop, in the second 16, it takes a lot more of a minimal tone, which is nice as a progression. However, I feel it sort of becomes too minimal. So potentially like having some of those trippy elements, maybe like there's a little bit of like the piano being filtered and coming in, but I think perhaps a little bit more of that, just so that there's still I feel like there's too much contrast between the first 16 and the second 16.
Yeah.
Maybe just like having like those sort of like weird effects still potentially filtered, but just maybe filtered a little bit less throughout. Or just like some like noises or textures in the background, maybe side change the kick, so it sort of adds this like, I guess like sort of floating effect to it, just so that it doesn't suddenly feel too sparse.
Yeah. I also felt that the kind of harp, and I think it was a harp kind of trill or like a harp strum, and then the pianos, they felt quite clipped, like they'd stop quite abruptly, and I felt that they could kind of bleed out into a little bit more of the tune as well, like this. But then that tightness might be actually part of the character, in part because I did really like the way that the sub and the kicks worked really, really nicely, and that was a good part. That's probably why it went minimal, because it's like, oh, this is a groove. And if you've just got a nice groove with the sub and the kicks, then you've got like the basis, the foundation of a good tune. But yeah, I think this is kind of like 80%, I reckon, with more work and more kind of twisting it up and stuff like that. But I think like everybody kind of saying nice vibes, very nice and stuff. What's Max saying? Agree with this, could get more mids in there as well. If going minimal, could use a bass with some more mid content. Yeah, something to kind of fill that space or give it a bit more character or a bit more bite maybe, isn't it?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, sort of in agreement with what Max is saying, of like, if you are going to go down the more minimal route for that second 16, maybe as well as just going, because I feel like currently the sort of like sub bass and everything stays the same between the two, and that on any necessarily, I guess, there aren't many like new elements that get brought in, but a tune that I'm thinking of that has sort of a kind of shift from the more like artsy stuff to the sort of more like filthy minimal side of things is Fallen Leaves by Brethren, where it's got this like nice weird mellow piano intro, and then halfway through the drop it switches into this quite like grotty minimal. I think potentially doing something like that could work, but still having the like filtered piano stuff, so you keep elements of the start. That's just an idea of something to potentially try out.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. So
but
what's going on, Dub Wild? I also saw that Sonnet. I think I said what's hello to Sonnet, but anyway, yo. I'm gonna make a note of that track. So that's Brethren, yeah. Fallen Leaves.
yeah,
I
Fallen
know.
Leaves. Yeah,
I can't picture that. I probably heard it, but anything like that, I do like it when there's lots of contrast. In fact, on one of the very, very first episode of the demo drop, and it was your tune which I revisited on the recent little kind of
yeah.
compilation of times. That yeah, where I even say like it's got a nice gentle intro. It's like I don't think this is going to go the way that the intro is kind of leading us into thinking that. And yeah, I think anything that subverts any type of expectation or plays around with the form, because I mean, it's almost memeish then, isn't it? Where it's like, oh, right, okay, nice little liquid number, and then it absolutely tears your head out and rips your heart out and jumps up and down on it. Right, speaking of jumping up and down, we have got Damage Man next with Monsters. Wicked, right, okay, so have you got that up and ready? Let me know when you want to do the countdown.
3,
Right. 2, 1, let's
1.
go. Damage Man has been on a roll, I think, since episode 1. I think there's maybe one stream you've not been on. I'm liking this. This is kind of almost got a Jaws or Psycho kind of ominous. Something's going to jump scare us. Oh, Bad Businessman. I can't remember who you are. I know you're a regular. That's today, I'm afraid. Send over something and we'll get it on, though. Okay. Shift. Oh, you already have. That's cool. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Feeling this. Just on the off chance that you're not following Damage Man yet, gang, I'm going to put his SoundCloud up. Yeah. Oh no, wrong one. That was Sedgins again. Oh, I like the little subtle mutations. We're almost going into frog territory. Yeah, Damage Man always delivers. Yeah, big up, Tom. So actually on this one, I think you could do with one of those wicked samples, because you found samples, like there was one on History, which was really, really good. And there was another one that you did recently. Like, you're very good at finding spoken word stuff, Tom, and I think there could be something in there. Maybe not though, maybe not. It doesn't feel like it's lacking. I think it's more because of my expectations. So what's going to happen on this second drop now? Now, right, let's stop that there. Right? Is that doing enough for a second drop there? Now, I know like Tom is from the Dancers, a working DJ and a promoter, so you are making the tunes to play, and you know full well that most people do not play until a second drop. Could that do with more on the second drop? And what would you do if you were like on that tune or in the room with Damage Man? How would you make that a little kind of subverted twist on the second drop? What would you add to kind of add that kind of, oh, nice, I see what you've done there type of thing?
Potentially, well, I mean, it may sound like a little bit of a cop-out, but I'm a massive stickler for a half-time second drop, so maybe like cut the drums out, have the bass, have like a kick on the first beat, have the bass come in for maybe like one of the little phrases, and then drums come back and then be half-time. But that's very much a personal preference. I know not everybody is the biggest fan of halftime, so but no, incredibly solid track that.
Yeah.
One of the things I really liked about it was how you had all of the sort of like weird, sort of spooky, like half bass, half mid-range synth things.
Yeah.
At the end of phrases.
Yeah.
But then at some points you didn't. So there were like a couple of bits where I was expecting it to have like one of those spooky mid-range basses, but then it just had a sort of change made to the mid-range bass, not mid-range bass, the sort of like main bass, the wop 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 wop.
Yeah.
It just had like a slightly different phrase in that, and I liked the sort of unpredictability that brought.
Definitely, and the fluid nature of that, like it just felt like it was kind of oozing and bubbling in different kind of ways, but also felt very, very under control as well, and very measured. I don't know how, like I think it's probably easy to just let basses just go absolutely wild and just bleed over everything. I mean, I think there's an art to keeping a bass under control and on a lead like that, so it's literally there barking and showing all of its aggression, but not at any point does it shit on the road, if I'm going to use an analogy of a dog being on a lead or something. But is that quite tricky? Is that a skill in itself, kind of keeping things under control?
Very much so. Like one of the things that I do struggle a bit with is getting those sort of like atmospheric and sort of mid-range one shots to fit and to actually figure out like where to put them in. That's always quite a difficult one to master, and this track does it absolutely perfectly. Like very solid,
wicked,
very, very good tune.
Brilliant. There we go. That's the tune so far. I think that's been a highlight of us so far. So we're moving on now. We are chowing our way through these. Brilliant. Leku. Okay, right. So Leku I've not met yet, but there's been 2 occasions where we've almost met through Primal, but I've been late because I always am, and you've had to go. But yeah, last time your name was on this stream. It's still, whenever I see your name now, I just think of me and Liam messing around. I don't know how it came out or why it came out, but I said, don't lick the Leku tree. And it made Liam laugh a lot. So now it makes me laugh just remembering that. But I think, Leku has come to us. He's had a tune on here before with a collaboration with Primal, which was really, really cool. Now this is an original. I think there was something, I can't remember what he said on the email, but I've just brought up, right, that's because I'm clicking on his SoundCloud and not on the actual track. It's called Underwater Motorway. I really like just the whole concept of that, and that brings up quite vivid images for me for some reason. Even though it'd be absolutely, is it impossible? If it was in a tunnel, if it was just under the sea, well, you need to have aquatic cars first. We're not talking about aquatic cars, we're talking about bangers, which are actually old cars. Right, 3.
2.
1.
1.
Ooh. Okay. This has kind of got underwatery vibes then.
Watch out!
Ooh. I'm just going to have a little look at what he said on the email, because I think there was some type of description or some type of information. I can't remember. Let me have a little look. Okay, yeah, I'm liking that. Yeah. Nice. Very, very minimal. This is great. I love this is just a straight up Q&A between the mid bass and the sub. I like it when it does the second little burm, burm. Yeah. Oh, bit of stereo.
Ooh.
Yeah. Really like that. It's quite London Electricity-ish, like earlier London Electricity, super nice kind of jazzy bass. There are three basses here, isn't there? Because you've got the kind of revy one, the sub, and this fretless bass.
Yeah.
Really like this. And the pads aren't without their charm either. There's kind of like an old schooliness to them. Oh, okay. Do you know what? I thought on the second drop that it was just going to be that bubbly kind of sub, and it was just going to be a really minimal second drop. And I think it could almost benefit from that and have something else over the top instead. Or maybe this second drop is the jazz bass's time to shine, and it goes like full on.
I quite like the sort of inversion of the question and answer type structure, because in the first drop, the sort of like four corny bass is sort of leading the question and answer, whereas in the start of the second drop, it's the other way around.
Right. Yeah. I've actually stopped that now so I can hear you, because I couldn't quite hear some of the bits that you were saying there. I will say, and this is a me problem and nobody else, because of Underwater Motorway, in my brain on a loop in time with the music, and I had to bite my tongue from not singing it, was there'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea. But I didn't want to ruin Laku's tune with my not so dulcet tones and obscure Homer Simpson references. That's what I think of with Underwater Motorways. I really, really like that though. I really like that. I want to see the jazz of that kind of maxed up a little bit. But generally speaking, that was a really cool and quite interesting and unique combination of sounds, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel I really like the sort of like funky sort of jazzy elements in the start. One thing potentially I think the track would benefit from is having more of the like high to mid range of that upright sort of fretless bass coming through, because it's got a lot of the sort of bass side of it, but I feel it kind of gets the sort of mid range part of it gets a little bit lost in the other elements within the intro.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I could really think of as well is for the foghorn bass, I feel like maybe having a little bit more of a tail to it, or like have like a reverb layer for it that increases in volume at the sort of slightly over the sub bass bit, so it sort of leads into the next section. Or potentially just a little bit more reverb, so there's like a bit more, I guess just a bit more tail to it. But that might be
and more kind of
personal
texture,
preference
because I think then when it bleeds into that, it would bring it all together then, wouldn't it? It would kind of correlate or correspond a bit more with what it's actually kind of doing the Q&A with, I think. I am really into these bass sounds. I highlight Waze as one of the first people to do it within drum and bass, or certainly the first people to kind of champion it. Maybe as well, like probably Simula was playing with it like a year or two before anybody else, and then moved into Frogs. But that kind of, it's the sound, I mean, I describe it as like when you used to put a can on the back of your wheel of your bike to make it sound like a motorbike when you were a kid. And it's that kind of The sound that I used to make every morning when I used to smoke tobacco. But that kind of grungy, because it's nice, because it's got a messiness and it's not quite so clean. And I think then that influences other things there. I'm hearing a lot of it. We hear a lot of it on Vision Radio, but I'm definitely, like, as it's got foghorn elements, but it's also kind of works well in minimal. It's bringing minimal tracks alive. So very much into that bass, very much into all of those things. Leku, let's keep in touch and please carry on sending music, because that was really, really cool. So where are we now? We are gone. Right, Acolyte. Okay, so this is a new name on the drop, and they said I think he pretty much said, I'm going to quickly bring up the email, because he said he was ready for a roasting. If I remember, demo for the stream. Right. Hey guys, I'm looking to be absolutely roasted on my first bit of production that's close to a playable track. Far from perfect, but I think it's a fun one worth sharing. I really like that. And yeah, definitely, you know, it is the demo drop, not the banging unreleased music drop. And this is what we're here for, to kind of, especially when I got a guest. I like that evil hand rub, especially when we got a guest who really kind of knows their stuff and is able to feed back in this type of way. So, right, we've got our roasting hats on. 3,
2,
1.
1.
Okay, so it's Freezer. All right, the name of the track is Freezer. Of course, he's called Acolyte.
Yeah, that got me for a second. I was like, mixed up talking.
Spread the word to all. The Emperor of the Universe is back. Honestly, I can't even sleep at night, plagued by the knowledge that you're alive. I would love the honor of ripping off your limbs and beating you over the head with them.
Is this from Smiling Friends?
What's wrong? Quivering with fear, are you? Shall we?
Okay. This is fun.
Tremble before my power! It's a shame. While I do respect powerful fighters, there's nothing I despise more than a monkey.
Brilliant.
Just imagining Goku's face when he sees the pile of your corpses. And to know they were all executed by yours truly. Exquisite.
Dragon Ball Z.
I'm trying to see what... Oh, hold on. I think we can
Since you're so
find out where
eager,
that's
I'd
from.
be elated to show you why I am
Monkey.
feared across the universe. Then
What's
I
it
shall
from?
send you to a place worse than hell.
Oh, right.
what
Freezer.
they like to
Okay.
call heaven.
All right. Okay. Dragon Ball
What's
Z.
wrong? Quivering with fear, are you? Let me see your face as you writhe on the ground like the worm you are.
I think we're going to listen to this all the way through. Yes. Acolyte, I don't think you could have picked a better show to send this to. This is very much up by street, I can tell, and I'd be able to tell without seeing those reactions as well. Like those little double uppy bits, nice.
And what has put you in such a tizzy? Was a loved one killed right before your eyes? Expect another fun day of training tomorrow. Unless, of course, you want to die.
I will be present for training tomorrow, Freezer. Don't worry. That was brilliant. That was really, really cool. And definitely for like a first kind of public playing or public sharing of the track.
Yeah.
I want to hear all of your thoughts, Kai, because it sounded like Acolyte Adam is definitely a fan or would follow your music. In that type of way, like that's definitely up your street, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I really, really like the humor of the track. It's something that I feel is missing from a lot of like drum and bass. Is not taking seriously all of the things that you need to take seriously with regards to like actually making the track work and everything, but then not taking anything else seriously. So I really liked the use of the sample throughout, and it matched the very like quite silly sounds throughout, like in the drop and everything, and the energy was definitely there.
Yeah.
In terms of areas to improve on, I think the drums sounded a little bit flat. Like the snare, it's a really nice sound, but I feel like it could have, again, it could be sort of like snappier and stand out more. I feel it kind of gets lost a little bit. And similarly for the kick, I feel that could hit a lot harder than it does. And that would really sort of like make it, because it's quite a kind of like stompy tune in terms of its arrangement. And I feel like having a really like powerful, like driving kick and snare could really like push that forwards.
And then they would match that big raspy bass line then as well, wouldn't they? Because that kind of stood out as almost needing a little bit of tethering in. But if you had a real kind of thwacky, like ridiculously kind of chunky kick and snare, then they would all be hitting with the same energy then, I think, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I also feel a little bit like the sort of like upper end of the sub range and the like lower end of the bass, sort of the bass range might be clashing a little bit, in that I can definitely hear the like lowest part of the sub, the sort of like the fundamental frequency of that, but then in between that and the sort of like mid range of the bass, things sound a little bit muddy.
Yeah.
So potentially like either cutting out some of the sort of like a little bit more of the lower end of the bass and having a bit more movement in the higher end of the sub could really like help with
letting it all kind of sit in the right place or correlate in that way.
Yeah, and giving some more sort of like, I guess, sort of weight to the bass sounds, and more like, I guess like movement is the main word I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was wicked. I just want to quickly say yo to DPro9. It's been a while since I've seen you on the stream, so it's wicked to have you on here. You just missed an absolute banger. But you could always watch it again, unless you were listening before you came in the chat. I think that was brilliant, and keep it up. And I think like it's great to have like a real kind of technical co-host on the show with me, who's able to kind of then you're able to help him take that kind of to the next logical step as an artist developing and kind of finding those. It's that 10% there really now, isn't it? Definitely the ideas and the humor and the creativity and stuff are very much all there really, so that's wicked. Right, cool, let's see what we've got next. Right, okay, we've got some punk. We have got some punk now. There's a band called Chopsy.
Nice.
It's also the same guy. Oh my god, I'm going to embarrass myself. He literally lives in the area I went to school. I want to say Tribal Dubs, but it's not. Oh, maybe it is. Right, I'm going to find that out, and I'm really, really sorry, but this is a band called Chopsy, who are a punk band. And we have done it before. I mean, it's kind of come out like as a free download. But the opportunity to play some punk on this show is, it doesn't happen very often, so I think it'd be cool for us to do. Right, okay, so, oh God, hold on a minute. I need to sort my life out a little bit. Right, that doesn't matter. We'll just go 3,
2,
1, go. Okay, I'm going to take it back. Oh, it's literally 32 seconds. Ah.
Well,
Amazing. Go on. That was brilliant. I mean, tunes are getting shorter and shorter. 32 seconds. I bet there's some punk in your musical history. I know there's punk in your musical history. Where you at with punk?
so I don't particularly listen to much crust punk. I listen to a reasonable amount of ska punk and some sort of like, I guess like whatever it is that like soft play make, that sort of like stuff.
I love soft play.
Yeah, they're really, really good. Um, and obviously like a lot of punk drum and bass fusion is really, really my thing. For it's difficult to give feedback on this one because like the main thing I would say is that like the hi-hats and sort of like top end of the drums sound really distorted. However, that could very much just be stylistic of the genre. Like, yeah. Man, this has been the most difficult one to give feedback on so far. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Shifter said he can't hear the vocals at all, and there is there's a point of that, isn't there, when it's like kind of really distorted, and it's kind of getting that anger, but it's also having a bit of clarity, enough for people to kind of latch onto, but then enough to confuse and muddy up kind of things, really, in that type of way. And yeah, the energy, it is very much in the energy. I think it's cool. I got it right. It was tribal dubs. I hate it when that happens, when my brain just decides, no, you've got an audience now. Like, and this is like, you know, again, tribal dubs has been part of a lot of these streams. Did a guest mix for my first Come Dancing show on Diff Radio and stuff like that. And I love the name Chopsy as well. Like, I think Chopsy's a Welsh word, isn't it, really? I don't know, actually, everybody else from around the world, do you do Chopsy, or is that, I think Chopsy almost seems like a Cardiff thing to me. Like, maybe that's because in my Chopsyest era of my life, I was living in Cardiff. But it's a great name for a punk band.
I guess kind of from, and something that somebody's mentioned in the chat with regards to the like, so for those of you who don't know, well, certainly as I understand the word chopsy, it means somebody who like talks a lot, your mouth being your chops. So if you're chopsy, you're chatting a lot, and which kind of like follows into something somebody mentioned in the chat, was that the vocals kind of get lost a bit. So I feel like potentially having the vocals either being a bit louder or a bit, I guess, clearer, and finding the balance between like the distortion being used for like a very, because it is quite like a stylistic choice having that distortion of the vocals, but finding the balance between that and being able to like hear at least some of the words and get the general feeling of the track might be an idea, but yeah,
there you go, Chopsy. Sort your chops out. Chopsy is more like when it would be like, it's talking a lot, but it's talking back. It's talking back, so it's back chat. So none of your Chopsy bad. You know, so I'm trying to think now, like, you know, kind of, you might tell an elder that smoking's bad for you, and they might turn around. I'm thinking of an actual family interaction as a child, like, smoking's bad. It's like, yeah, so's chops in, son, that type of thing. Like, you know, none of your chops in. I think it is a real Cardiff thing, and it's interesting to know that other people have not heard of this as well. And even like your understanding of it, you know, as a fellow Welsh person, is slightly different there. So yeah, maybe it makes me proud to be from Cardiff. Wicked. Right, we've had some punk. Now what have we got? I think it's Single Action. Now, Single Action has been, he hasn't been on the streams quite as much as he was before. There is one of the oldest tracks I've signed for the compilation that's coming out on the 1st of January is actually a Single Action track that I've been playing for about 18 months and just kind of hasn't, we haven't got round to a release yet. So that's coming out on the compilation. This is brand new. I've not heard of this one before. It came through as like a kind of attached to the email. So I put it up on my Dropbox for you there, Kai. Right, cool. And it's called Morning Sip. So I'll share the SoundCloud in a moment. But first, 3,
2,
1, go.
I'm ready.
And where are we at with the SoundCloud?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah.
Ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah.
Ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready too. What's it going to do? Let's have a little look at the waveform. Super mellow. Now, although Single Action has done stuff, he's kind of collaborated and employed the additional 10% from current value. Tension's building. It's a power move to have such a sparse intro. I can see something's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I'm ready. Yeah.
Ready?
Ooh. It didn't do what I thought it was going to do.
Yeah.
But I really didn't know what it was going to do. I just knew it was ready. I feel it needs something else. This is interesting though. It's definitely like this is. I've not heard anything like this. Don't know what to make of this one.
Yeah, me neither.
Those drums or those percussion bits, they almost sound like they're crackling. I'm not sure if they're necessary. Tell you what this feels like. It feels like it's a skit in the middle of an album. And he might have some type of kind of, oh my God, what's his name? The really famous sci-fi, talking about Pale Blue Dot, Carl Sagan. Or a Brian Cox type of kind of vocal, talking about being lost or insignificant in space.
Yeah.
In fact, I would do that. I mean, Single Action, I know that you're working on an album, and this feels like an album track. It feels like something, it feels like the type of thing I'll be like, I'm going to put that in the middle of a mix, like a studio mix, when I want to take people on a really weird trip. It's a bit of a tease because it's kind of got those bits where it goes like, and you think, right, okay, now we're going to go into hyperdrive, but we don't. But I almost think that's kind of the point, and that's why you've called it kind of morning sip. Like this is waking up and having a cup of coffee, and you ain't ready to hit the gym or anything like that, or shout or anything. What did you make of that?
Yeah, I very much didn't really know what to expect. Like when you said like the thing about current value, I was like, because the intro like The only thing I could maybe link the intro to would be some of like Current Values intros where it's like ooby dooby 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 doop. Here's a nice like orchestral, quite mellow intro, and then
Yeah.
um, but like yeah, I don't particularly know what to make of it. Like I feel like the general like atmosphere and arrangement and the sort of like I guess more like musical elements of it are really nice, but I don't. Hmm, I think I do agree with what you said about it being like a good like album track and that having like maybe some more like vocal type, like sort of like spoken word samples. Sorry,
Yeah.
over the top could really help, especially with how like because the intro is comparatively long. It's like a 64 bar intro. Um, Having that as a way of sort of having this like a long extended vocal thing um, could could work nicely, I think.
Yeah.
Um, I feel a bit like in the intro when it's teasing in the horn and everything, there could potentially be a bit more like reverb and space and maybe some like delay as well to that sound. So it's sort of because at the moment it sort of comes in a very similar way to how it does in the drop. But I think having because the intro is very like atmospheric, I feel like the horn sound seems a little bit out of place there
Yeah.
because everything else has got a lot of space and it's quite a sort of like weird spacey intro. Um, I feel making the horn a bit more weird and spacey there might help or
Yeah.
might be a potential thing to do. Um, I quite liked the sort of like crushed percussion things, whatever it was that they were.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a very interesting track. It's not at all like anything I've really heard much of before. Um,
And I think that's great. Like that's a compliment in
yeah,
itself, really, isn't it? This day and age, and with so many people using kind of drawing from similar sources, and kind of using similar samples and stuff. I think for the fact that we're both almost speechless or wondering kind of what to make of it, I think is probably
yeah,
like the ultimate compliment in that type of way. And I think that's really really cool. Like normally it's like, okay, this, I can reference this or I can reference that. I can imagine that slap bang in the middle of an album, or maybe even like a strange ass intro on an album, really, before you
mm,
start to go deeper and deeper down a wormhole or anything like that. But everything kind of felt like it felt well produced. I wasn't so into those kind of bit crush percussive bits because they sounded a bit too crackly over the top. But I think they probably would have had a place elsewhere in the track. I'm really interested to hear how that develops and what you do with that
yeah,
next. Yeah, brilliant, cool. We've not had a track like that. I mean, we were able to kind of reference a 32-second punk song and find context for that quicker than we were for that. But I've in all of the demo drops so far, we've not had like a, oh fuck, I really don't like. Normally, I'll pull a face or there'll be some type of reaction that I just pull in. It's like, oh fuck, I really don't know what to make of this, and I think that's an amazing thing. That's really really cool for just trying new things out and experimenting. So thank you very much. That has been brilliant. Right, who we are now? I think we're going to keep the American flavors going. Yes, we are. It's
cool.
Spiralus.
The link you've sent for the Spiralist track uh, directs to the Sajin track.
Oh, classic me. Okay, cool. I will send that over to you. I will update that now, and I'll tell you what. Right, we'll jump to the next track in order to keep things going. I don't know if people can hear in the background. My daughter and my son are playing. They're playing guitar and flute together. So I've got two demo drops going on. One in my headphones and one back there. And they're not quite ready for signing yet. They think they're going to be on the compilation. Like I'm gonna have to break it to him over tea afterwards. Sorry, your snare shit, son. Right, so we've gone on to the Mistland one now, time compression, and then
Yes.
I'll update Spiralus as this is going on. So again, Mistland's been a regular on the show from Hungary. Right, okay, so
2,
1.
1.
Right, let's quickly update this. Liking the sound of this. Right, I've updated that link for after. Okay, Sonic's a fan. This is nice, and I like that little elevation there. That it needed to happen. Reminds me quite a lot of like kind of late 2000s, early 2010 med school, SGN limited type of the kind of deeper offshoot of a main label. Old Blue Martin. Yeah, you're right there, Shift. Yeah, so Shift saying I would love to hear some mid bass or some sample stabs at the beginning of each phrase. I think you're right there. There is a kind of sense of it washing over a little bit. But I think in the mix, if I was going to mix a tune like this, I would be looking for something that doesn't do too much so you can have that texture. I like what these drums are doing as well. I'm interested to see how this goes. That's nice. Oh yeah, Sonic saying nausea, motion blur. Yes, yeah. Yeah. Now that's the second drop worth waiting for, I think there. Yeah. And this really come to life, like this come alive in this second round. Wow. Depot saying the second drop is always better. What if it is the same as the first drop? Is it still better then? Full circle. So I'm going to stop that there just in terms of time compression. I would very much like to have my tea. So I have just stopped it there. Just only a minute off the end. I think that was great. Missland, like, we released one of his very, very earliest tunes on a free download compilation when One More Thing launched as a label. We kept in touch ever since. I would say that sounds, that's another step on from the album that you gave away earlier on this year. I think that's great. I could really feel you getting into that on the second drop as well, Kai.
Yeah, definitely. I really like the sort of like, I liked the switch up in the second drop. I do feel a little bit like the first drop at points got a little bit samey with how the sort of like main respace was used. So maybe like a little bit of like mid-range stabs, etc., or even just like changes in the sort of like bass pattern.
Yeah.
I really like the way in which like different types of like drum break were used. I can't remember what the name of the drum break is, but there's one that I heard that's from, I think it's the sample pack that Blue Martin put together with like bits of loads of like jungle tunes from 1991 to 1999, something like that. Yeah,
that fits very much in with what Shift is saying here as well. He said old Blue Martin and about having some type of kind of stab or something in there to give it a bit more character, I think. And then that second drop, I mean, that bass line came out of nowhere there, but it came out of nowhere, but it felt like it fitted and it corresponded with everything else that had happened before, even though it was a fresh sound, which I guess that's quite a dark art, I would imagine, when you're bringing in a new element, but it still needs to like complement it all and feel like it's in the right place. That's probably quite an interesting trick to do as a producer, isn't it? Or not so easy to just kind of get right all of the time.
It is quite a difficult thing, particularly with bringing in new sounds. Often when I'm producing and doing stuff like that, often I won't wind up bringing in new sounds and we'll just do different things with the sounds that I have already. But this fitted incredibly nicely and was a very nice like progression of all of the elements in the track, but just a bit filthier, which worked very well.
That did. That was brilliant. So Missland, I haven't actually put his SoundCloud in the chat, so I will do that now, but I've updated Spiralus, which is actually a SoundCloud link. It wasn't a Dropbox at all, so I just copy and paste. But yeah, if you've got that now.
Yep. Yeah,
I really like that picture of you, Darren. That's what it's almost like somebody's coming up, like there's an alien or something just off a camera there, or somebody coming up. Like, it's not a complete faux, but he's definitely on guard. Sorry to everybody who's watching this on the stream. You can't see the picture I'm looking at. So we will get on with the music. 3, 2, 1. Yes. Wild Animal. This is called. So, right, I'm going to put Spiralus and Missland.
A little angry on this one. Deranged in a cage, feeling like a monster. Anything moves, you'll be yelling, who shot ya? Drunk off the funk, no targets will prosper. Ring the alarm bells, calling the doctor. The angry man lives, you don't want no pain. It's war and it's mayhem, making me insane. Corruption in politics, bleeding out the veins. The people all suffer, the rich eat their brains. The zombie apocalypse is here, and your man will lie to your face.
That.
So they can steal the planet too. It's time to stand up and rise above these cannibals. A rebel who's pissed off, a wild animal.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, I like that a little bit.
A wild animal.
Yeah. Okay. I wonder where that rap is from. Who's the MC you're sampling there, Darren? Kind of sounded a little bit Armani Rain, but it's not Armani Rain. Because he's got a really distinctive kind of...
Yeah.
Almost sounds like he talks with a filter.
1 second it's a concept, next second it's control. Steadily bury your intellect, trying to steal your soul. All them voices on TikTok and Insta play their roles. Now humanity is lost cause their tag shifting soul. AI on the rise, this is no matrix, no food, no jobs. Economy is tanking, newfound plays, can't they see the earth shaking? I'm holding up the flag for our youth that awaken. And now we out our cage, feeling like a monster. Anything moves, you'll be yelling, who shot ya? Drunk off the pump, the blood of imposters. Ring the alarm bells, those targets will prosper. The
Okay.
voices in my head
People saying that
driving me
the
insane.
execution
The
is
zombies
Monday.
all coming, let's
Interesting.
take out their brains. It's time to stand up and rise above these cannibals. A rebel who's pissed off, a wild animal. A wild animal. Rather be pissed off than pissed on. A wild animal.
I really like that lyric. I'd rather be pissed off than pissed on. That's
Rise
fucking
above these
brilliant.
cannibals. A rebel who's pissed off.
Ooh.
A wild animal.
Sick jam. Oh, okay. Right. Okay, so I'm going to stop this and we're going to try and find right.
Yeah.
So Sigjir has said it would be cool to hear the first frog bass wub reversed into the second hit. So I'm going to try and find that because I really like it when people are that specific. So the first frog bass, we'll take it back to the first drop and just see.
War in this mayhem making me insane. Corruption in politics bleeding out the veins. The people all suffer, the rich eat their brain to your face so they can steal the planet too. It's time to stand up and rise above these cannibals. A rebel who's pissed off, a wild animal.
Right, okay, yeah, so it's go, hang on, let's start this, right. So it's got like frog, 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 but on the second, like the second half hit, that does a reverse instead of just two straight hits. I can imagine that working. I like
So
this.
it's like, so like the I think what Sigjir is I guess saying is like instead of having it be like you have it like you so you have the like the first one kind of like leads into the second.
That makes even more sense then. Yeah. So you got like three frog noises there, and there's two. The one in the middle is the kind of reversey one, kind of gluing them a bit. There's quite a bit of feedback there. I didn't think the execution was muddy, but there's kind of people talking about the mix on the vocal. The vocal was really prominent, but I quite liked that because I was listening quite intently and I liked the lyrics on that. I like the kind of US kind of take on an MC, kind of in keeping with people like TRAC and Armani Rain. It sounds very much like Armani Rain. It's also kind of reminiscent of when Lynx and Chemo were doing stuff, and I think maybe Chemo did stuff then with Calix and TV, maybe. I can't remember. No, that was Armani Rain, I think, actually, maybe, wasn't it? On the Pure Gold, because you mixed it recently on a clip.
Pure Gold is Calix and TB and Chemo.
It is Chemo then.
Yeah.
There was kind of like that. I mean, the lyrics, give the lyrics to Ride. Ryder Shafiq would definitely smash those. But I'd rather be pissed off than pissed on. I mean, that's like, my hat is off completely there. That sums me up completely. Like that, I really enjoyed that. I think, mixed down. I mean, I think it is definitely, Darren said it was a demo when he sent it over. I think it seems to be talking about Let It Roll stuff. So I don't know if I'm missing out on some information, whether you're making tunes for a Let It Roll EP. I know there is a Hospital Let It Roll EP coming out on Friday. A New Home, and I don't know if you're involved in making tunes for the next Winter Let It Roll or anything, Darren, or whether you're making tunes. Are you playing at Let It Roll, maybe? Get in touch when you've seen this. Like, we have got a Spiralist tune coming up soon on the compilation that I've been banging on about tonight. So, right, we have got now, it's Fireworks Factory. Go on.
Yeah, I think with regards to the vocal, I feel I could very much hear in my headphones the sort of like type of distortion that you get when you push a sound too much or like over compress it. This kind of like sort of crackling sound, sort of when you start to like clip something. And it did sound very much too loud compared to the other elements of the track. So potentially just bringing it, like either compressing or saturating or distorting it just a little bit less, and just bringing the overall level down so that it sort of fits in the track as opposed to sitting on top of it. But really liked all of the elements.
Yeah.
Also, I guess the last thing is the drums I feel could be a bit snappier and have a bit more like, I guess, weight to them, because they did sound a little bit under processed at points. That's like the main things.
I really like the kind of, there was definitely a bit of a kind of UK vibe in there as well, in a way. And that kind of ping-pongy type of sound. So just a little bit of kind of UK jump up cheekiness, but without it being too kind of garish or overpowering on the tune. Now I think this one, can we just stream this? Because it's come up. Yes, we can. Right. Okay. Sometimes I thought it was in a zip in Dropbox, but it's not. Right, so Fireworks Factory, are you still on the chat? Are you still here? Whether you are or not, we're going to play this tune now, and this is called Weird Era. And I think if it is the one that I'm thinking of, this is coming out on a compilation as well on the 1st of January, but it's not quite signed yet because it's not finished, so it doesn't break the rules. Right, cool. So free. Oh, have you got the tune up?
Yes, I have the tune up.
3,
2, 1.
Trance vibes. Let's quickly get the BPM on this. Hey, Max is still here, great. And Sonnet. Yeah, so 180 BPM. Really liking that ominous vibe.
I think I might have an inclination where this is going.
You can see the world from here.
Ooh. Oh. Yeah. There's a lot of space there. Brilliant, because I know at some point this is going to kick off. It's relishing in this half-time. Whoa. I like the space and where those percussions sit as well. Go on. Well, I kind of want the 4/4 to go on a little bit longer there.
Yeah.
I would probably loop that for a 16 or a 32, just in a set, just to keep that groove going a bit more. Okay.
You can see the world from here.
Oh. This track is a massive tease. There we are. Woo. Oh wow. actually heard that
Yes.
before, but I don't think it was quite as developed as that when I heard it the week or so before. But Max, wow, that was amazing. What did you make of that, Kai?
Yeah, the drop definitely wasn't what I was expecting. So when I heard the that particular kick sound, I was like, ah, this is going to be lots and lots of kind of like when lots and lots of like 4x4 sort of almost, I guess, like kind of like slow hard tech or something. Because the kick is very like reminiscent of sort of like those sort of styles. I quite liked the halftime section. The random 4x4 section in the first drop, I do feel that that could have gone on for longer, or potentially had like a little bit of a build up to it, a bit like more of a build up to it, where like the other elements sort of stop and then suddenly that comes in.
So maybe another
I did
vocal
like,
like the "Can See the World from Here" or something like that, or
yeah,
a subversion on that vocal. It took us both by surprise, I think, the 4/4 when it came in that type of way. I thought it was great.
yeah,
What's going on, Jan, by the way? It's great to have Deer Hill in the chat there. He's just joined us late. Yeah, I mean, there was so much going on. I really like those kicks, and I think it is just a filter where it's kind of like they sound like they're going up or down tonally on the kind of build up, but it was just really
yeah,
well shaped and well sounded. And then that kind of reversey sounding bass thing on the fills as well was really cool. I think you could add a whole other minute, at least a minute to this, and it would
yeah.
not in any way be boring or lose any kind of attention from people on the dance floor or from DJs, I think.
I think one thing that could potentially work for the second drop is have it drop, have like a little bit of like the halftime, so maybe like one kick and one snare, have the sound sort of break up for a bit, like the kind of make it sound like the track is falling apart, and then it all comes back in, and suddenly it's 4x4, that like syncopated bit that was there for a bit.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
have the
yeah.
like halftime drop, and people are like, ah, it's going to be the same halftime drop again, but nope, 4x4. Um,
Yeah.
but that was kind of how I was, I guess, expecting it to go. Um, but I did really like the sort of like halftime section in the first drop. But potentially having something that sort of catches people a bit by surprise, for I guess like an extended time, as opposed to just the little bit in the first drop and the little bit
Yeah.
in the second.
No, I think that's cool.
4x4.
Yeah, Max seems really into that feedback as well. That's really cool. I think that's your most like kind of unleashed track so far that I've heard. Yeah, there was just so much going on, and I think like really similar to Single Action's track that we couldn't kind of get our heads around. I maybe, and I might be completely wrong on Single Action, please like correct me on this, but maybe that was the type of vibe that he was trying to go for there, with that kind of ominousness where it sounds like it's about to kick into something at all points. As with, I can hear my mate Jamie in my head when we first started going out to dubstep raves in like 2007, 2008. And he was like, this is just all a tease, because he's an old junglist and he was getting me into jungle and drum and bass. I was a hard dance fan and he used to mock my tastes. And then I took him to dubstep and he's like, it just feels like everything's building up all the time. And it kind of felt, I know that if I played him that track, he'd just be like, oh! And then when the 4/4s finally kick in, they really give you what you need. But I think like in terms of expectation, mood, drama, tension, doing something fresh, yeah, that was really cool. So there's Fireworks Factory's SoundCloud. While we're playing the next tune, I have yet to share the links for Fireworks Factory's release, which came out on Friday, or Dysfunction's release, which came out a couple of Fridays before that. So I'm going to share those links in the chat while we listen to the next tune. We are kind of beginning to wrap up now. What have we got now? So we're on to Dub Wilder. I think we're on the last kind of 5 or 6.
4, 5, 6, 7 tracks, including this one, I think.
7 tracks. Okay, cool. So it might be that we kind of, I might stop them once we know exactly what the tune is doing and we can really feel that we can comment on it. Then I might cut a few of these just slightly short, because I always forget how much more detail we go into when there's a guest on the show, and I think, I mean, I'd be interested to know what people think in the chat as well. Like, you know, I think, you know, well, as One More Thing releases more music, there will always be another guest on the show. I really enjoy having somebody else on these streams with me, and especially somebody who can produce, because then the type of feedback that I can give is vibe based. Although last time with Lakeway, I think I was giving something more technical than Liam was, really. Right, okay, this is cool now. So Dub Wilder, a regular on the show, he gave us a choice, but I went for this one, mainly because I didn't see the first email that he'd sent, but also because it's called Tremor. And you just had a track called Tremens. And I know that this is going to be dubstep as well. So there was a kind of link in my head. Are you ready? Kai.
3.
Oh, 2.
Yep.
1.
1.
So this is Dub Wilder. I'm going to share a whole bunch of things in the chat while we're listening to this. I like those disco bubbles. Hello, Mr. Stew. Okay. That was a brilliant noise. Oh. See, because I've spent so long speeding up and slowing down records to fit into a 200 BPM set, I'm already thinking this is going to go great in my 200 BPM set. I do really like a steady dub rhythm like this, just pounding. Ooh. Has to be extra good dubstep for you to enjoy it. Well, Depro, right? Funny you should say that. And I would say this is good, but while we're listening to this, let me get up the link to the new Dysfunction release. This is very militant. Right, okay, where are we? My pre-save link. So, oh yeah, it's those disco bubbles. I do feel it needs something else, but I'm gonna add to that in a minute. Firstly, especially you, Depro, because you're saying about good dubstep, check that link. That's by Dysfunction's EP and the track Tremens. Best dubstep tune I've heard all year. And here is another link.
So I feel a lot like that.
Oh, hang on. I can't. One moment, because I can't hear you on that. Yeah, what were you going to say?
So I feel a lot like that do melody that's in the oh.
Yep.
Okay, I was going to say that could do well being put over the drop, but it has been put over the second drop. So the bit of the sort of like adding something extra, because that melody line is very nice sounding, but then he's gone and done it in the second drop, so that feedback is kind of moot, because he's already done it.
I tell you what, right, because I've paused it literally just a moment before the second drop, so I'm going to press play again just for 30 seconds so we can hear that second drop. There's the digga 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 at the top is almost quite trancey. Dub Wilder's from Germany, and you could kind of hear that like German element, I think, in there. Almost like, you know, it almost sounds like a similar kind of instrument that might have been used on Meter at the Love Parade or something like that, but used in a completely different context. So yeah, I just want to hear this second drop now. So, and that noise again. Okay, and there's more elements now in this as well. This is a real marching tune. Whoa. This is it. Germany is the home of techno. You haven't got a download. Don't bother. I want a download of this. Ooh. I'm going to let this play for a minute. Because I'm into this, I'm going to let it play for a bit more, but I'm just going to get the next tune ready. Yeah, because there's more elements coming in. It's still like, this is still introducing bits. And you can see like the track's going to break down again. So I'm actually, no, I'm not that impatient. I can wait for a second. Fun. Oh, that's it. Cool. So that little breakdown bit was just for that amazing noise to go again. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I especially like the second drop, I'd say more than the first, because the introduction of that kind of like weird sort of dotty melody line. I feel like the drums are very good at having this kind of like marching, driving feeling to them, but I feel like there could potentially be a little bit more variation in them, because they sort of kind of do the same thing throughout. So maybe just like a little bit of change in the placement of the kick, or having like, I don't know, the snare shifted a little bit just every so often, just to sort of break up the sort of, I guess, like very repetitive marching feeling of it could work.
Yeah.
Potentially even at the end of phrases or something, just having like a break or something come in, just for like a little bit, and then the drums come back in as well. Then the drums come back in again. But yeah, no, it's very, very solid track, and I like a lot of things about it.
Yeah, me too. There was had drama, it had character, and I would like to download that and then play it at the wrong speed that you've made it at and put it in my 200 BPM sets. That was brilliant. Right, okay, so we got Oki. Right, this is a whip, and he said it was a whip on the email. I don't know if we were given a choice and I went for Misfit, or whether it was just called Misfit as well. So hold on, where are we? Oki. What did you say about this tune? And then we will listen to it. Right. Oh, it's all in. It's in a fucking stack of emails. I can't be bothered. We're just going to press play. 3,
2,
1, go. And now I'll look it up. So where are we? What are we saying? Is it Oscar? No, that's Sequest. That's you. Right, okay. What are we saying? I've got, right, small 140 excursion. Just one drop, but I hope it's enough to roast. People are asking to be roasted. I prefer getting toasted. Oh. A dubstep heavy show, this one. Great. I think this feels like an example of a bass that's just slightly out of control. Ooh. be, because it's really weird that this is pulling, well, it's not weird, this is pulling on some of the same noises that the Dubwilder track was. Those kind of disco bubbles and stuff like that, those like little poppy noises. Which makes me wonder, so that is a whip at the moment. I mean, there's not a huge amount of roast. I think that's great, Oki.
That was fucking incredible. Jesus Christ.
Hey, brilliant, go on.
Alright, that's some of the best stuff I've heard so far this year. That's really fucking good.
Wow. Go on, amazing. Cool. So you preferred that over the previous one?
Yeah, the like, yeah, no, those basses were like really, really, really well put together, and like the drums and everything were top notch.
Wow, go on,
Not a
like
lot I can
zero
say about that.
roastage.
That's a really fucking good tune.
Brilliant. Go on, that's really cool. There we go. Okay, I mean, I was going to say, and I said it at one point, like, is that the bass feels slightly out of control there, where there was some harmonics, and it kind of felt like there was, yeah, maybe a little bit where it could be tethered in. It's really odd that you're using similar kind of disco bubbles and those type of noises to the previous one, which makes me think there must be a dubstep sample pack or a sample pack that's come on Splice with those noises or something. But I'm not going to decry them a bit old moany and anti-Splice, because I like disco bubbles and those type of poppy noises, and I think they should be felt in other genres as well. Yeah, there was a bit midway where it kind of felt like it was like a kind of like a complete wiping the slate clean, and then it came back in. Yeah, I think if we had more time, I would go back in on that. But it does make it tricky. What I would like is a system where we're hearing the same audio, so that I'm not kind of like, because I know that when I'm going back, then we're completely out of sync and stuff. But it's quite nice when I'm looking at the screen, I'm looking at the other screen of the waveform, and then I look at our screen on Zoom, and we're both popping in unison. It's like, cool, it's got the Dysfunction, thumbs up. Right, cool. Okay, so, right. This is a track. Now, he didn't actually send it over to be on the demo drop. We've just met a bunch of times, and he's a friend who's come along to a couple of the things we've done recently. But he sent me a whole load of demos and stuff, and I thought, right, we're going to play it. So this is Garu, and that really stands out because I live in a place called Blind Garu. It's spelled completely differently, but there was a significance, there was a resonance there for me. This track is called Scent, and yeah, he kind of makes like minimally kind of drum and bass. Super nice guy called Jay. So are you ready?
Yes.
3, 2,
1,
go. And let me share some details, and then we're on the last 5 tracks here. So thank you very much that everybody has joined us and taken part. There's been some really, really nice solid numbers on both YouTube and on Twitch as well, which is brilliant. And as always, great variation. Yeah, definitely some very cool tunes on it. And we haven't even played yours yet. There we go, I'm just quickly looking back. Yeah, so everybody really liked that. And Dubwilder, all right, Dubwilder, you were on this as well, cool. So you've heard that feedback, that's great. Nice. I like how that came in. Some tension in this. Kind of like a techno-y feel to that kind of like that rhythmic. I don't even know, what would you call that? The thing that's doubling up, like the thing that's on a half bar.
I'm not entirely sure what it is.
It could almost be like a percussion that's just been really processed.
Yeah, and have like lions like that.
Very, very, very skeptical. works out. This is the type of track that you know is going to sound like the bigger the rig that it comes to, the more you're going to feel from something like this. Well crafted indeed. I think it's so hard with like minimal music, really. It's finding that line so you've got people kind of properly into it. The waveform of this is really strange. Like it's kind of like I don't know. Yeah, like Bart Simpson's head popping over a wall, and now it goes back down, which is quite cool. Like that is what you'd want in that type of way. I mean, I think by now, if you were a DJ, you would have mixed out of it. You've got that groove there, which is the solid groove to lock people in. There's a real kind of techno mentality to that, I think, really. And I am quite like, you know that it's just a tune doing an outro, but I am a sucker for those kind of decaying things. I mean, like Dear Hill, who's in the chat now, I mean, like the last track on the album that we released, Spore Prints, like the last track, it's just one sound for the last minute, and it just kind of echoes out. And the completist in me, as much as I've got no patience and I flip around all of the time, when I'm listening to a track and there's an outro like that, I kind of feel obliged, or I feel locked into it. I feel a duty to listen to it all the way to the end. Garu, I thought that was great. Like that was really, really cool. I mean, minimal is a really, really hard one to master, I think, isn't it? It seems like it would be easy, but every single element has to sit in the right place, doesn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Like, I did really like the way that the sort of that had like the one that we spoke about, that sort of continued throughout, and how that evolved. And I like the way that very much sort of drove the track.
That was the main character of the track, really, wasn't it? That was the voice of the track, wasn't it? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I also really like the sort of like atmosphere throughout it, and the way that all of those sort of elements of the intro sort of continued throughout the drop. In terms of feedback I have, the main thing is I feel like the drop comes in potentially a little bit too suddenly. And one idea I had was maybe having just like a drum fill, or like a sort of like drum roll type thing for like half a bar or a bar just leading into that drop. So it's like,
preparing you for it a little bit.
Yeah, so it sort of like leads you into the drop. And then one of the only other things I can think of is I feel like the kick had potentially not enough mid-range and not enough, like, I guess, like space to it. So it very much had the sort of like the click of it, the transient, and then the like sub part of it. But I feel like having a little bit of kind of like almost like acousticy mid-range to it, like how like acoustic kick drum sound, maybe with just a little bit of reverb on it, could really help just like make the drums feel a little bit more alive.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So just give them a bit more space in that type of way, definitely. Cool. That's awesome. Right. I mean, I kind of want to play, right, we've got Iltech the Cutter, then Sequest, who was there right at the very start. No, but I mean, Sequest, like, you're still with us. So I think I will keep to the order, not to confuse things. And they are there, certainly at this stage, they are the order of how the tracks came in. Like literally about an hour before the show. Now Iltech the Cutter, he's got a track coming out on the compilation as well. He sent a range of tunes for everybody to decide, but because I wanted to keep it streamlined, I made the decision, and I picked the track called Chemicals because you are working in science and you work with chemicals and stuff like that. So I thought, yes, guy, this this title has some type of very tenuous reference to what you do for a living. You're going to really like this tune. Could say, I mean, I quite like chemicals, really, so I might like this tune. Were they words? Did I just say that? Right, okay, let's just press play. 3, 2, 1. Oof. Okay, wow. This is a very strong sound. Iltech has sent some really mad tracks to the stream over the year or so, the 18 months I've been doing this. 14 months? 15 months? Now let's see where this goes. I wouldn't say it's my favourite type of noise to start a tune with, but it depends where this goes now. Okay. I was expecting that kind of browsy noise to come back in, but maybe it will in a second. Whoa. There's a lot going on in this. Reversey little bit, but I'm not too sure if it made sense there. Oh, okay. A complete switch in bassline. There's a really nice percussive noise that's coming in as well here. Seeing that there, Jan. So that thing at the end of the album wasn't supposed to be that you were supposed to cut it. I like that. This is really interesting. This top line thing. Right, that kicks in better than the first drop did. So whatever you did, like there's something cleaner on this second drop. Within reason, I mean it's still like raffish, I think is the word that I would describe this. Purposefully untidy. And I don't mean that in a bad way in any way, it's just Iltech's signature seems to be one of kind of antagonistic, again in a good way. I'm going to stop it there in the interest of good timekeeping, and it's that I think we've definitely heard what that track's done. What did you make of that kind of brassy noise that's being used for a lead there? Because it didn't seem to correlate with the drop at all, did it?
I quite liked that sound. I feel like it could have potentially come in more during sections of the drop. It added quite a sort of kind of like weird, silly-ish contrast to the very like powerful, like well-designed, almost like kind of neuro-ish bass.
Yeah.
I do agree with you with how the second drop things seem to sort of come together a lot more, I guess, like coherently than in the first. I feel like a little bit in the first, particularly like the first 16, that sort of raspy, very like kind of like growly bass felt a little bit too much and too present sort of throughout. Like it's a very like well designed bass, but I feel like arrangement wise it sort of was a bit too unrelenting for what was going on in the rest of the track.
Yeah. I think removing maybe some of those kind of bass elements, because there was just a lot to kind of get your head around, and I think there could have been a tiny bit more space around some of those kind of bass elements. But now being quite familiar with Iltek's tunes, that seems to be his kind of signature in that way. It's just like kind of real bulldozer, just fucking pushing loads of dirt and gravel onto your face. I've just said it says trying to reconnect, so I hope I'm still coming through okay, and I hope that my connection isn't going bad or anything. Please let me know if I'm breaking up. Yeah, I thought that was great. I don't know if I could totally get into that lead noise or not. But that was super interesting. That was brilliant. Thank you very much, Iltek. So now we are on to Sequest, the first person who's in the chat, and I do believe you're still here. Right, okay, Sonnet, thank you very much. We're going to be finishing with a Sonnet tune. So we've got Sequest, Shift, and Sonnet. All with
the
S's.
stream. Oh, yep. The stream froze for a sec, but now it's back.
Ah, right.
All
Okay,
is
cool.
good.
Yeah, right. There we go. Phew. Right. Okay. So Sequest. This is a 140 piece. It's just a whip. It's a tester. So this is very much a kind of demo here. Oh, we've got two Bart Simpsons now. Looking at that waveform. Hold on. Sorry, I just lost the lead. Okay, right. Let's go. 3,
2,
1. Ah. Okay. Oh, there we go. That's working now. Liking the eeriness of this. Couple of weeks time I might try and mix a little bit. We're walking in the air. We have actually got a 200 BPM remix of that coming out as a free download. Let me share some social details. Here we go, so here's Sequests. Right. Yeah, that's got a mood. It's like you're kind of walking through thick fog. Okay. Right, I like these new elements coming in. check the tempo. Because even though it says it's a 140 piece, it kind of feels like it's half of that, or it feels a bit slower. Quite often when I'm writing like press releases or reviews or something, if something's like this, I would describe it as unhurried. And it doesn't feel like there's kind of, you know, like you're not in a rush to get to this breakdown. I think the second drop is going to do the same. So when we've kind of heard the second drop, we'll fade it out. It's definitely got a mood to it though, like unhurried. This doesn't give a shit if you need to be running for someone or you need more energy. It's going to do its thing. I feel like this could do with more now, like a drum or something rolling up like a snare roll.
Or like hi-hats coming in just
Yes.
like 8 of the drop.
Okay. Right. Well, it's not doing the same thing that I thought it would. They definitely put a second drop here. Right, I'm gonna stop that there. That, like, you've got all of the bones. You've got the formation of a fucking wicked track there. I like the fact the second drop did a different thing with the key, and like, you know, same sounds but different. It was either up an octave or it changed the key. I'm not musical enough to know, but I really like what you've done there. But I just feel like it needs more elements. So it felt like everything was following the same pattern. So you had that and everything else was following that and following the same pattern. But within that, certainly on the second drop, there were loads of little bass textures being teased, which I think could have played a role throughout the track. But the kind of answer to the question that was being posed by the riff, that romp, romp, I was really, from the minute I heard that bass sound, I was a fan. Before that, I was undecided.
Yeah, no, I really, really liked the sort of, that like harmonic-y mid-range type thing, the bit that does the do. That sound really, really nice. Kind of reminiscent a little bit of some of who's the artist I'm thinking of? Even a little bit of some of Posei's dubstep that he's made. That sort of like trying to think of an example, or if it's Posei I'm thinking of it, can't remember. But very, very solid track, and I like the quite euphoric, very like rich tonal bass, and also the kind of more like neuro-y Reese basses that form the sort of like answer sections, fit together incredibly nicely. This is another just really, really good dubstep track.
Yeah, totally. So that Sequest, you're saying that it won't. I can't remember what that's a response to. It won't. I'm not too sure what that's a response to, but I think like you've, because we've said quite a lot of the things, or maybe I was saying that's a response to something I was saying while I was playing the track. I'm not too sure. But I thought that was great. I thought that was really, really cool. And please continue developing that and then send it over when it is in a more completed state. But I think that, you know, it's a solid tune. This has definitely been one of the best episodes for dubstep so far. I think maybe that is a sign. I mean, I do really try and encourage other genres as well. Right, okay, so now, in fact, I think maybe, I don't know what the Sonic one is, but Shift, this is Quick Money. Shift, Bad Businessman in the chat, I believe he's still around. Another regular on this show, so I've just brought that up. Right, hang on, wow. That started without me saying. So, are you ready? Have you got that? Quick Money? Yep, he's still there. Okay, cool. Right, 3,
2,
1.
1.
Here we go. Quick money. There's no such thing as quick money. Well, there is. That's the problem with the world, right? I've been really into a lot of Shift stuff. We're talking about releases. He's got a track on the compilation. Okay. Now Shift is kind of doing breaks, dubsteppy stuff. And he said it was a new sound on the email, so I'm interested in this. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I've been using my headphones on the dance floor hearing this now.
Make it quick, Audie.
Yeah.
Make it quick. Make it quick.
That's nice. Very nice. There's a groove on this.
Make it quick, Audie.
Very danceable and very like got a lot of
Make it quick, Audie. Make it quick. Make it quick. Make it quick.
Yeah.
Make it quick.
I am a sucker for those kind of trippy elements.
yeah.
On Shift, you've got a real kind of style. You know what to do with these little vocal chops. I mean, you definitely feel like a kind of US groove to it as well, and I mean that. Like, I think there's some amazing music coming from North America at the moment. And I think we will see a lot more of that as times get more and more weird over there.
Yeah, it's got almost kind of like a
Make it quick.
type arrangement of the drums, but they're like dubstep drums.
Yeah. But they've been given like more of a kind of funkier kind of feel, isn't it?
Yeah. Like,
Make it quick. Audie. 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 Quick. Audie. Audie. Audie.
Brilliant. So let me share. I don't think, no, I've not shared your. Will the second drop be the same? It won't. Right. Thank you, Sequest. We were very surprised. We were pleasantly surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised by that as well. Go on. Dysfunction's feeding in.
Make it quick.
So let me share your SoundCloud.
Make it quick.
It's the disco noises again.
those stamps are really nice. I like the way that they get played with.
Ooh.
Sort of shifted between offbeat and
Hang on a minute, because I couldn't hear you over that then. So what did you say then? I don't think you heard me then. What were you just saying then? I turned down this track so I can hear you.
Yeah, so I really like the way that those stabs sort of get moved around the beat. So in some points they're sort of offbeat and other points are more on the beat. They add a lot to like the overall like movement of the track and fit really nicely with the drums and everything. Yeah, very, very solid, just very nice and danceable tune.
Yeah,
Doesn't really
definitely.
fuck about at all.
Yeah, really, really cool. But yeah, it's kind of got that kind of melting, kind of woozy feel, so they don't always sit on the same spot. So that's brilliant. I don't know if you can hear. Can you hear that noise that's coming from? That's my laptop screaming at me. But hopefully we'll survive just for this last tune now, because we are going to sign out with an actual demo from Sonnet. He's on most shows as well. There we go. Thank you, laptop. Please don't do that noise again. Jeez, you've got to do like an 8-hour shift on Saturday when we have our stream. Anybody watching now, if you're interested, we will be streaming on here on Twitch and on YouTube from about 12 o'clock until about 8 o'clock. Dysfunction will be playing, all of the One More Thing crew will be playing, and we're going to be playing lots and lots of nutty stuff. Glitch Girl is down, Danny Styles is down. It's going to be amazing. So hopefully this laptop will survive for that. And Sonnet, it's happening in Sonnet's hometown in Southend-on-Sea to launch his next EP. But it kind of feels like we're launching everybody's EPs and we're celebrating everybody's EPs because we've had so much great music. It's been Lakeway, it's been Dysfunction, it's been Fireworks Factory, now Sonnet, then bringing in Whoosh right at the end of the year, and then a compilation start 2026. I want to thank everybody who's been watching this and been involved. There's been some really consistent numbers, which has been great. And Kai, thank you so much as well for being present on the show and contributing loads of really cool stuff as well.
Yeah, and also thank you for helping me find lots and lots of good music, and especially good dubstep, because it's been a while since I've heard dubstep as good as like some of the tunes that have been on this.
Brilliant.
It's been really, really good.
Go on. I mean, that says it all. That's the compliments don't come high. And this is from the person who made like Tremens, which is an absolute bulldozer of tune. And I've been saying that's my favourite dubstep tune of the year. So before we go, I'm going to put the link in for Confusion EP. But we've got Sonnet first. It's called Hammer, maybe named after MC Hammer, probably not. This is our final time we count down. Let's do it. 3,
2,
1. Hammer time. And we can't work out if I've actually heard this one or not, because Sonnet sends over everything. And there was always a rule of like, I don't want to listen to anything unless I'm listening to it on the demo drop. But that means I don't listen to demos. But hang on. I'll turn this right down. Yeah, I'll stop talking for a minute. Go on. Oh yes. Brilliant. Love the rave energy on this, love the persistence of that riff. Yeah, there's a proper kind of machine gun like feel to that bass line.
I really like that one as well.
Bugger. That was a proper demo because it just sudden drop there. That was great. I have heard that one before, and there's going to be some Sonnet 140 related stuff coming on One More Thing next year. Well, I didn't expect to have so much great 140 stuff on this show really at all.
Yeah, no, I really liked the sort of a lot of it. So it had a lot of very like nice modern dubstep elements, but it had this sort of underlying vibe that kind of reminded me a lot of like old Prodigy tunes, like the with the vocal that just kept going through, and the switching between like dubstep elements and like more kind of like breakbeat elements worked very, very nicely. It's an incredibly solid tune.
Yeah, really, really solid. And I do think that people who have really kind of, honed their skills in drum and bass when they make that type of music, the Urban Dawn track at the moment, can't remember what it's called, Nutter's Revenge, maybe, I think. The new Urban Dawn track is kind of a really, really good example of just like there's loads of great garage and breaks around, and then the drum and bass producer comes along and just knocks everybody out of the ocean with it. Like somebody, if I was to do a belly flop in a swimming pool, and everybody's just going to fall out of the sides. I mean, Noiser did it years ago with Gutter Pump, and they hate that tune, but I still love that tune, and I remind them of that quite often. It's been brilliant. This has been really, really cool. So thank you to everybody who has sent us music. Thank you to everybody who's been on the chat and stuff. It's been great numbers all the way through. And Kai, thank you so much. It's been great having you on the show, and I hope we will be able to do this again in the future.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It's been great, and been a lot of really good music sent, and so big ups to everybody who submitted stuff for this. I've really enjoyed myself.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Is it? How is it? Because I mean, this is we've had so Lakeway doesn't really kind of get involved in the chat or anything. Sonnet has been a guest and he came through this, but you've actually seen it now from both sides. You've been a host, and you've been a participant in this.
Yeah, it's been quite interesting to sort of be on both and not engage in the chat, like typing in the chat as much. But yeah, no, I've it's been interesting. Don't really know how else to describe it.
It's been really, really cool. Thank you so much. It's been great having you on, and great signing your music kind of, partly through the demo drop. It's no secret that most of the sick stuff that I am putting out on One More Thing is coming through the demo drop. So thank you to everybody. Keep on sending music. And I love the fact that people are actually asking to be roasted as well. That's brilliant. It means that people are up for proper feedback and stuff like that. So I put the link for the Confusion EP in the chat there, and it'll be, if you're watching this later on in life in the future, the link will be in the description-y thing. And thank you very much. Have a good night. Nice one, Kai. I will see you on Saturday and speak to you before then. And big up everybody.